grabs the board. Land's got his third rebound tonight. Here's Price. So we've reached the end of the fight.
Well, Tyson, what has been the key to enabling your team to control the tempo of this game throughout this first half?
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We welcome you back to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. For the Suns, the first quarter was pretty even. At the end of the period, they held a 2-point lead. And that'll do it for now as the second half of our game is about to get underway. Kevin Harlan.
The second half just about to get going here. You know Eric Bledsoe has been exceptional here, guys.
And he just went off in those first two quarters, guys. He's capable of doing it.
Beautiful. You know, on the surface, it might seem questionable to attempt a dunk like that when you're behind, but I think he's just trying to give him a spark.
What a dunk it was.
And he's got that awe factor. Even look at us. We're all sitting here just waiting for when he goes airborne.
And the replay, of course, presented by Kia. What a play. Now Irving. Love kicks to Irving. That falls. Big assist by Love. 8 points for Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving, an explosive scorer. We all know that. His rate of assists continually dropping over his NBA career. And Greg, does he need to be more of a pure point guard?
You know, he does have the advantage of playing with LeBron James, one of the best playmakers in the league. It's a good fit, I think, at this stage of his career because right now they need him to score the basketball while he continues to improve his point guard skills.
Suns leading by 6. 3-on-3. Here's Knight. It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A 3-point play chance here.
First personal foul.
And sometimes it feels like Brandon Knight is the Rodney Dangerfield of the NBA. The poor guy just doesn't get much respect.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kevin. Through the end of last season, he'd already been on 3 teams in 5 years. On one hand, it may be disrespectful, but teams recognize his ability, too.
James, the pass to Love. Back to LeBron. From the arc. And Kevin Love, the bucket with the assist by LeBron. Love's got 5 now.
They're doing work here in the second half, 3 or 4 to start. And on the topic of Brandon Knight, you have to wonder why he's been traded around so much. I mean, it wasn't due to a slow start because he made the All-NBA rookie first team. He's smart, has a strong work ethic, proved himself to be a clutch shooter in college, the kind of guy you normally wouldn't think about dealing for someone else.
The Suns making a switch here. Teletovic is checked in. Here's LeBron. Takes the assist and lays it in. Pick out the pass nicely. LeBron's got 4 this quarter. And Bledsoe, here we go. Teletovic's shot is good.
You know, talking about Brandon Knight, part of the reason he's been traded so often is because teams are offering great prospects in return. Detroit dealt him for Brandon Jennings, and Milwaukee dealt him for Michael Carter.
They can't guard us on
One thing about Eric Bledsoe, he made it clear he wanted to be paid like an upper-tier player, and that led to quite a negotiation between he and the Suns last year. Ultimately, the two sides agreed to a 5-year, $70 million deal.
Matthew Dellavedova has checked in for Smith. And Phoenix also making a switch. Chandler's checked in.
Solid job by them on the glass here tonight. +8 in rebound.
You know what? That rebound has always been a critical element of the game, and that's why they are now understanding how to win.
Talking about Eric Bledsoe's contract, many insiders felt like it was too much for a sporadic talent. We knew that he was the good backup in Los Angeles with the Clippers and going to Phoenix in a more prominent role. You know, but he went on to have a dynamic season, proving that, you know, Greg, and you know this position so well, he has the ability to be one of the best league's combo guards, I think.
I agree. I mean, consistency will tell the tale when it comes to Bledsoe. I mean, the rebounds and assists, the averages were up last year, but his shooting percentages were down. So is Bledsoe a near max level player? Only time will tell.
To the middle, it's deflected and stolen by Love. In transition, here come the Cavaliers. Irving for three. No good. So Phoenix will take it the other way. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game.
And you know what? He's just not on his game, no doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been an asset for his team.
And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it three.
The whistle and then kept his focus and able to still knock it down.
And Greg, to be able to take the bump like that and maintain control, that's not easy to do. I know you're kind of a little fella, and I was a big guy when I played, so I know how difficult that is. That was impressive.
I see.
Looking at who's out there now for the Cavaliers. Mozgov, he's checked in for Tristan Thompson. Fry comes in for Kevin Love. And it's Iman Shumpert in for LeBron. And Shumpert kicks to Irving. Bledsoe outside. 1:58 left in the third. And he gets it to go, hitting off the back of the rim. Bledsoe's got 15. And guys, what do you think about the hustle stats for Phoenix?
Defensively, they played with a lot of energy, and the steals we've seen are a result of that aggressiveness.
Another factor here tonight has been the amount of points they've scored off turnovers.
Excellent pass there to cap that break with an uncontested basket.
The Cavaliers trail by 5. Dellavedova kicks to Mozgov. Launches him. Knight grabs the board. Knight's got his 4th rebound in this one.
And one problem with the Cavs last season was they put immediate pressure on themselves. A part of that was the trade for Kevin Love.
And that'll be Cleveland as it goes out of bounds. And return possession.
Oh, nice play there to get a hand on that pass and tip it out of bounds.
Just a whisker away from coming up with the steal there.
Smith checked in for Cleveland. And for the Suns, Len comes in for Chandler. And Ronnie Price has subbed in for Knight. Dellavedova from outside. And he gets it to go. Dellavedova's got a pair of threes now in the third for Cleveland. Suns have gone just a bit under 50% from the field since halftime. 5 out of 11. It's stolen by Smith. And the Cavaliers pushing it up now. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead. They push it up 4 on 3. Here's Price. It's deflected. They get it back. Here's Tucker. Offensive rebound.
Really good job on the inside that time. I mean, he had to work for that rebound, and he got it done.
Shumpert dishes to Dellavedova. Smith for 3. Len grabs the board. Phoenix has gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Here's Tucker. Bledsoe against Shumpert. Up top, Bledsoe. 17 points in the game. A nice shot by Tucker.
You know, I think when you've got somebody that open on the perimeter, a good shooter, the kickout's the only choice.
Smith. Got it off in time, but it's no good. And as we end the third. We've got a great game on our hands as we welcome you back. The 4th quarter of action getting started. Suns leading by 4. On Phoenix, looking who they've got on the floor. Price is out there with Booker. Then there's Warren. Then there's Mirza Teletovic. And it's Len in at the center, filling out the middle. To the inside, and stolen by Love. The drive by LeBron.
Phoenix foul call.
And you just look back over the career of LeBron, and you have to say he's an all-time great already. I mean, the numbers are there, the multiple championships, some already calling him the best small forward to ever play the game.
Brandon Knight, he's checked in for Phoenix. And he can't hit the second. Here's Booker. The Cavaliers pull it in.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
Irving for three. The shot misses. Some solid defense from Knight. Hey, just look at LeBron, Clark, in a historical context. Last season, he became the first player since Bill Russell and his Celtics to make it to the NBA Finals 5 consecutive years.
Boy, I tell you what, this says even more about LeBron that whenever he leaves a team, they miss the playoffs. No matter what team he's on, they're favorites to win their conference.
Big-time bucket there, and you can expect to see him stay very involved the rest of the way.
Knight into the lane. Cans the 12-footer. And the Suns lead by 3.
And really smart to draw his man out to the perimeter. He's giving up too much size to be effective inside.
Showed nice basketball IQ. I agree, Greg. I mean, if he finds his spot on the perimeter and doesn't force it, I think his outside shot will be hard to block no matter who's defending.
Love outside. No good. That would have tied it. Suns leading by 3. Ahead. Here's Booker. That's good.
And he placed that pass out in front of him and let him just run into it in rhythm. And just a solid start to the season for Teletovic last year. I mean, unfortunately, it came to a close prematurely as he was battling blood clots.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear what Cleveland's head coach was saying to his team. He was not at all satisfied with their effort level, saying, "We're losing the hustle plays and all the 50-50 balls. We simply can't win that way. We've got to get after it." Let's see how they respond, Kevin.
Thanks a lot, Doris. For Teletovic, he got the clots in early December, and Clark, fortunately, he made a full recovery.
Yeah, good to see him back. You know, Bosch's blood clot battle was more publicized due to his stardom, but Teletovic went through the same thing. It's a real threat to an athlete, and hopefully it's well behind him and he doesn't have to run that race anymore.
The tray. Rebound by the Suns. Land's got his 5th rebound right now in the game.
He had 6 points from long range in the first half, but nothing's fallen here since.
He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the lead.
The Cavaliers trail by 8. Irving with a clean look. That falls. Great assist by Love. 16 points for Kyrie Irving.
They've given up a lot of three-pointers here today.
And their defensive rotations have been non-existent.
Irving against Bledsoe. The shot no good.
And they get the rebound, but guys, that's been the issue throughout the game.
Yep, and the results on the scoreboard are attributed to how they've been out-rebounded thus far.
Phoenix leading by 5. Here's Booker. No good on the 3.
Even though he isn't having the best of games from the floor, it hasn't seemed to hurt him. You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
The shot by Knight, no good. Cleveland's gone 2 of 5 on 3-point shots since the end of the 3rd quarter. And the basket good.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
Before he launched that one, way off. And that's 19 points for Kyrie Irving.
Just dialed in from the three-point line in this 4th quarter.
Yeah, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they're putting a world of hurt on him with the triple.
Yeah, you know what? I think he thinks he can make a few improvements to how things are going on right now.
Yeah, you know, coaches always are looking for ways to tweak things and change it up a little bit, no matter what the situation is. That's what coaches do.
Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Well, guys, over that last break, I listened to Phoenix's head coach address his team. He made sure that everyone was on the same page and that the offense needed to run through Bledsoe. Coach is looking for big things from him throughout the rest of this game on the offensive end. A lot of the scoring burden will fall on him. He said also that their offense needs to be a patient one. He told them, don't rush things. Use as much of that shot clock as you need to. Guys, we'll see how Coach's direction pays off as this one winds down. Kevin?
And thanks for that story, Doris.
Shooting for Cleveland, Tristan Thompson.
First free throw is good, and that narrows the lead down to just 3.